Hey guys, it's Numistaka back with you again. I was not in any way planning another video on the Tudor GMT. You had the unboxing video already. You've heard what I think of this watch. I've had some great responses, but I have some other interesting kind of background news. Before we go down that route, quick wrist check. And on my wrist today is, of course, the Tudor GMT. It's been keeping very good time. Very delighted with it. Very lovely watch, and hoping that I have a lot of good wear out of it going forward. You saw yesterday or the day before when I unboxed this watch, you saw the background, you saw the watch coming out the box, and it is, of course, a genuine Tudor watch, bought from Watches of Switzerland in Regent Street in London. And it was interesting because obviously I'm kind of tuned to looking at for that Pepsi bezel, and looking at signs of other things of interest about the Tudor GMT. So in my email first thing this morning, there was an email, and the email was from a replica watch company that I have used in the past, quite a long time ago now actually, not one that I bought from for a long while. And they were advertising the Tudor GMT, the first high quality replica of the Tudor GMT. It's not something I'm planning to buy personally. I don't think really I need to have a replica of the watch, although it could be kind of fun in some ways. But I just wanted to have a quick look at that. I took a copy of the sales video that was on that particular website, which shows up close and personal in high resolution the replica, so that you would be able to look at my video footage and look at that video footage and just see for yourself the differences between the regular genuine article and the replica. I used to be fairly into replicas. I haven't worn replicas for a while. I haven't bought a replica for a long while. I came to the conclusion that it is far better to own genuine watches, and that probably replicas were not something I should be really buying. But it's always intrigued me. The subject is really quite interesting, because replicas are very popular, and so it's interesting to see these watches and see how they really are different from the genuine article. With this GMT, I think there are major differences. You can buy the replica, the new replica, for about $350. It's around about $3,500, or maybe slightly more for the genuine watch. So really it's kind of 90%, 10% of the cost of a genuine copy. You get a replica. What does that give you? Well, my conclusion is that it certainly doesn't give you anything like a beautifully crafted GMT. And whilst the case looks extremely good, actually, the movement is very different. And it's the internals of the watch, and its waterproofing and stuff like that is where you're really going to notice the difference. The genuine Tudor GMT has a Tudor manufacture movement, the MT5652, and it is a particularly close movement to the kind of standard bear, I guess, which is the Rolex GMT Master. And it also is something which is particularly straightforward to set and to change as you go traveling, because the watch effectively stays a constant time in terms of the second hand and the minutes, whilst you can actually independently change the hour hand to the local time zone. The Asian clone movement that you'll now see here in this video footage, in this replica Tudor GMT is very different. It's got a takeoff, an Asian takeoff of an ETA movement, and when you try and set it, it does actually have 2 time zones, so it will work as a GMT, but it has a much more kind of rudimentary mechanism where the all of the hands effectively go together, and you can set it. You can still get the 2 time zones, but it isn't anything like the kind of state-of-the-art GMT movement inside the Tudor and echoed inside the Rolex GMT Master. But you can see here in every other respect, the brushed steel, the way it's been produced, the mechanism, all of these things, they are, one has to give the replica manufacturers credit. They have done a pretty good job, and if you saw one of these, it would probably be pretty difficult to work out whether it was a replica or whether it was genuine. So I guess for people who want to have the show of a replica, but don't really care about the waterproofing and the movement and the actual build quality of these things, then this could be a way to go. But I kind of think in many ways that this watch isn't expensive enough to really justify buying a replica over and above a genuine item. It's not a very, very expensive Rolex watch, and you can see here the comparison between the replica and the genuine lume. It's not a watch which is like $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, and maybe you want to show off your kind of replica and pretend that it is something which is genuine. It's not really that expensive, and I think it's probably a better deal on balance for this particular watch to buy the genuine article. Maybe take advantage, as I did. You can go into Watches of Switzerland, for example. You can make a down payment even on a watch like this that is under a big wait list, and you can get up to 4 years interest-free credit from Watches of Switzerland. And in terms of saving on the list price, you may not get a discount on the watch, but actually it's actually really not that expensive to own it. And I think that it's probably on that basis a significantly better buy than the replica watch which has just been released by the black marketeers.